I'll just show you something like how we will work on these Android app development. What are the syllabus? How we will cover this? I'm just sharing my screen. Just a minute. You all are able to see the screen. Okay, so this one is the course like mobile application development, like how you can design the Android application for your e-commerce business, for your college, school, for your projects, for your market, like whatever you have work, you can design the Android app for that. So will be the syllabus for it. See, we will cover these all topics. Actually, the ratio that we are working with this course, that is 60-40. It means 60% we focus on the practical exposure and 40% we focus on the theoretical exposure. As we all are understandable, like it's compulsory to know about the theory part as well as practical. Like you cannot say we will work only with the practical exposure, there is no need of theory. It's not possible. Okay, because we need to understand the concept also. If we are designing anything, then we need to know why we are designing, what is data type, why we need to use it, what is function, what is operator. These all need to understand. So 40% we cover the theoretical part and 60% we show you the screen and live coding. I'll just share my screen. When I'll code, then I'll write code in front of you. That's live coding. So in the live coding, you will learn a lot. If I'm getting some error, you will understand why this error is coming. The most important part of the programming is error. If you get error, it means now you have started to learn something. Number of addition program. Okay, and one time you have written the code that is executed, it means you know only the functionality. But if you got an error like the semicolon is missing, you have such type of error, then you know I need to write the semicolon for each and after each and every line. I need to create the header files. I need to create this thing. Okay, if I want to convert integer to string, then how can I use the type conversion? So many things are there. So that's why we will prefer the live coding. And after completing this course, actually the scenario is when we cover these topics, the syllabus to see it's divided into two parts. Unit 1, these 4 topics we have in the unit 1, and second is unit 2, these 4 topics in the unit 2. Okay, so when we complete our unit 1, then I'll assign you a minor project. In the minor project, Till that, we have learned the basic concepts of Android. Then I'll assign you a minor project, a simple project that you need to complete by yourself. If you have any error, I will always available on WhatsApp, and anything else that you want to discuss, you can discuss in the class. Okay, that class we will arrange. In that classes, you can discuss whatever you want, what is your requirement. And if you designing something on that part, you facing some problem, I'm always available on WhatsApp. So I'll give you the minor project after ending the unit 1. And after finishing the complete syllabus like unit 2, then we will provide you some major projects that are the live projects. So we will provide you the training in this course, and then you are able to work on that live projects. Okay, so we will assign you the major projects that you also work on that project, that are work on that the project will have some different modules. There are so many modules inside that project because of the live project. Work on that project. So this is the scenario of this course, how we will follow this structure and how we will learn about development. Now we will discuss one by one about the syllabus. What will be our syllabus if we will join this course? And what we able to understand. So if we will discuss more about these topics, then the first part so what we are discussing about the topics, like which topics we will cover. So you can see these all are the topics that we need to cover in that application. You can see first one is Android basics of application development. Here we will learn the basics of Android. What is, why we need to use this Android? What is the overview of that Android? What are the features? What are the versions? From the operating system, we will start. What is Android operating system? As you are aware, we are talking about operating system, that is Android operating system. Most of the students are confused when someone will ask you what is Android. There are two things. If someone is asking you what is Android, it means he is not asking about the Android app development. What he is asking? He is just asking about the Android operating system. Okay. Android application is a different thing. Android means now he or she is talking about the development process, like you can use the applications, like how you can run an application on your operating system. And simple Android means it's an operating system. So as you know, the operating system, it means that operating system we are running. Same as like we are using in our computer, that is Windows operating system. We are using which type of operating system we have for the computer? We have Windows operating system, Linux operating system, Unix operating system. Okay, these are the operating system for the computer. Same as we have the operating system for the mobiles, like Android operating system, iOS operating system, BlackBerry operating system. These all are the operating system for the mobile. Same as we run the application for Windows application, like for Windows operating system, like we run MS Office, we run, there are so many applications we have like Paint and Photoshop, PowerPoint, PageMaker. There are so many applications that we design that application for the Windows. Same as we design the application for the mobiles. Like if I want to run Android, run an application for Android operating system, then we need to create an application for our Android operating system. Okay, Android operating, it's operating system, like it's an Android operating system. This one is the Windows operating system. If I want to run any application in Windows, then I can use this structure, that is Windows structure. MS Office, PowerPoint, such type of, these all comes in the MS Office. So like that, if I want to use Android operating system, I'll design the Android app for it. Like WhatsApp, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, these are applications that will support Android operating system. It means have Android mobile. Why we say Android mobile? Because in that mobile we have installed Android operating system. And iOS mobile, it means they already install the iOS operating system for their mobile. So only Apple install the iOS operating, because Apple has designed that operating system. So he is using that iOS operating system for their mobile. BlackBerry have its own operating system, that is BlackBerry. Like that. So if you design the application, you need to fix, you are designing that application for which operating system. If you will design for Android, that will be support only Android mobiles. If you design for iOS, it will support only with iOS. But now in the market, there are so many languages that can work for multi-purpose only, always also. But the comfortable is for Android, I create the Android application. Okay. So see the syllabus that we will cover in this course. We will learn about the basics of Android operating system. What is operating system? What are the functionality of Android operating system? Why we need to learn this? Because we want to create the application, then we need to know the structure of the Android operating system. Okay. So I'll just give you the brief introduction about the topics. Introduction, basics of application. Here we will learn the basics of Android functionality, how Android application will be run, and how you can set up the environment for your Android studio. Okay. Actually, when we learn about this Android operating system, then we will also start to learn IDE. IDE in the sense integrated development environment. Integrated development environment, it means every programming language that you use, like Python, C#, PHP, Java, any programming language you know, that have its own IDE, integrated development environment. With the help of that IDE, your code, you need to download that tool. Like you are working with shop, then which tool you need to use? You need to download Visual Studio. Okay, you will download Visual Studio IDE, then you can write your code on that Visual Studio, that you are able to design the code for it. Same as if you're working with Python, then for the Python, you can also download some tools like Django, Anaconda. These are the IDE for that Python, that you can use that versions. Same as for the a PHP, there are so many framework for that you can run. Same as for the Android app development, you can use Android Studio IDE. And is there any? Yes, any we have that. Another that is Eclipse. Eclipse, like you can run this Eclipse for Android app development, but mostly the companies they are using that is Android Studio. Android Studio is also work with the Android Studio is only work for the Android app development. Just a minute, class. So in this Android Studio, actually we will install the IDE that is Android Studio for the Android app development. So we will download Android Studio. Then we'll start to design the Android app development or mobile application development in the Android Studio. Okay. Next topic that we will cover, that is Android application structure. Android application structure, it means here we will learn about the framework, which framework we need to use, what is framework, how we can call it, what is SDK. SDK, that is software development kit. Like which SDK I need to use for this development, how we can use it. What is emulator? Emulator is just like a mobile. Like I think if you all, I don't know about your background actually, if you are able to learn or if you know about the basic program C, C++, PHP, Python, then suppose I think everyone know about the C. If you will run the C programming language, then how we will write the two-number addition program? We simple write the code here, then C is equal to A plus B, print C. And if I'll execute this program, then one black window will be open, then I can see the output of this program here. Got it? Then it's an execution window of that C programming language. Same as for the Android Studio, we have the emulator. Whatever application we have designed, that application will be run on that emulator. Emulator is just like a mobile. Whatever you can do with your mobile, same as you can do everything with your emulator. If you want to use any Android application, you want to use WhatsApp, Facebook, any gaming application you want to install, whatever you want in that emulator, you can use. If you want to run a mobile on your computer, you can run with the help of emulator. So actually, why we need to use that emulator? See, when we design the Android app, then we need to test that application with some different devices. Like I have designed the Android app. Now I want to test my application will work on tab. How it will be work on that tab? Then I need to see that application on the tab. Then I'll create the emulator for tab. I want to see if I'll open this application on 4.3 inches mobile, then how it will work. Then I'll create an emulator for 4.3 inches mobile. I want to see in 6.5 inches mobile, I can create mobile for it. So like according to your you can increase the RAM, you want to increase the memory size, you want to increase the screen, whatever you want to increase, you can increase accordingly. Okay, so it's depend on you which type of emulator you want to create. I will show you like how you can create everything. Don't worry, everything I'll show you live. How you can create emulator, how you can design it. Everything we will cover the live. So I'm just giving the brief introduction about the syllabus right now only. Like what syllabus we will cover. Then we will learn about the basics of Eclipse, emulators, then AVD. What is AVD? AVD is the Android virtual device. Android virtual device. Like with the help of this AVD, you can create an emulator. Okay. Emulator, what is emulator? Emulator, you want to create that emulator, then you can create with the help of only AVD manager. We will, I'll tell you how you can use it. Then after completing this part, then we will go with the first Android application. Then we will learn how you can start your Android app. We will create a first simple program to print hello world like that. Like how you can open Android Studio, how you can run your first application, how you can create the emulator, how you can test your application on that emulator. These all we will learn in these two topics. The next topic is Android activity lifecycle. Android activity lifecycle, it means one more thing that is important. In the website that you design the website, we always call up pages. Pages like login page, home page, gallery page. We call it a page. But in the Android application development, we also call it's an activity. We never call a page. Just page is replaced by the activity. Like if I'm saying you need to create a login activity, you need to create a gallery activity. I'm just sharing my screen. See, so like that, we need actually, I'm telling you, like if you design a website, just login page, home page, gallery page. But in the Android, we always call activity. Just page is replaced with the activity. We always call login activity, gallery activity, home activity, like that. Okay, so here we will learn the complete journey of Android activity. It's called activity lifecycle. Like how you can start that activity, how you can code for it, how you can learn to like how the activity will be executed. Actually, there are 7 methods that will used for this Android activity lifecycle. There are 7 methods, like how you can create it, how you can pause it, how you can restart, how you can start. These are methods that will use for this lifecycle. And about the hardware, demand application and demand, it means we will also learn the hardware compatibility for it. Like suppose if you are designing an Android app, then there are so many hardware component in our mobile. I want to get that component through my application. Then we will where you want to get the camera. Camera is a hardware device. You want to get that camera in your Android app. Then what you will do? You just use some hardware consideration design for it. Same as you want to get your speakers in a mobile. We have a speaker. You are designing a music application. That music will be run for that speaker. So what you will do? You just use these hardware consideration for it. So many things we will learn about these all. Then we will learn about the intent, activity, view. Is also important. That intent means, suppose I have designed a simple login page. Okay, one login activity I have designed, username, password, button, and now another activity I have designed for home activity. Now I want to switch. When user will type username, password, it's correct, then login successfully. Then he want to switch from one activity to another activity. Then you can switch from one activity to another activity with the help of intent only. These all are the part. I will go through the Android Studio. Then I'll tell you how you can use that part or how you can run this intent on Android Studio. We need to code for it. Okay. So this intent from switch one activity to another activity. Again, you want to switch from the login, then you can use same intent for it. Activity, that is page. We will learn like which type of activity you want to use. You can use XML activity, you want to use Java activity. Android Studio. It's Android Studio. And Android Studio or any programming language you will learn that will work with those parts, that is part and part. Okay, we call it front end. Now in the front end, we just simple design only. Whatever design we want. You can write the conceptual programming inside that front end. So in the designing part, we use such type of language that are designing language. And in programming part, we need to use such type of language that are programming language. That is conceptual programming. So in the Android Studio, for the designing part, we use XML, that is extensible markup language. And for programming part, we learn Java. These languages we will use in this course. Now the question is, Android Studio only work with these languages? Answer is no. There is another programming language. Is there another programming language that's called Kotlin? The Kotlin programming language also inbuilt inside the Android Studio that you can run. But it's up to you which language you want to learn. If you are comfortable with Java, you can choose Java. If you are comfortable with Kotlin, you can choose Kotlin. Both are different languages. But Android Studio support both of the language. But for the designing, it support only XML. So we need to work with this XML for the designing purpose and Java for the programming purpose. Okay. Next is web view. Web view is also important thing. Now, see the application that we Android Studio, there are two types of Android app. we have talked about the Android Studio and which programming language and designing. Two types of Android app we have. Which one? First one is hybrid application. Second one is native application. It's up to you which type of application you are designing. The difference between both application is the native application is called the application where you need to design each and everything. You need to create a page, then you need to write the coding for it. You need to create a login page. You need to design the text boxes, button, then click function, then you will write code, then you will connect with the database. Everything you need to start from the start. We do. That is native application. Those application where there is no need to write the code. Without type any code, you can design the Android app with the help of this web view. You just simply use the web view and then you will design a hybrid application. And there are so many companies in the market. They are running only because of hybrid. It's important. There are companies that have 100 employees with the hybrid application. And you can design this hybrid application within 2 hours. See how it's important. Actually, only few people know about it. It's a very interesting feature. Like in a 2 hour, I can design the Android app without coding. If I don't know the coding, that I can design it with the help of this web view. It's a miracle. Okay, but the simple problem with this hybrid application is it works only for predefined websites. Like if you want to design an Android app from the scratch, you have no website for your business or for your anything, then you cannot design the hybrid application. If you have a website, now you want to design the hybrid app for that website, then you can design the Android app for, suppose you have a website for your college or university. Now you want to design an Android app for that university, then you can design the hybrid application. No one can understand it's a hybrid application. Okay, and all the website will be bind in your application and it will work as an Android app. And in the native application, when you design this native application, then you can also add some pages of the hybrid application. Like some pages that you want to call from the websites, then you can also call that pages from the websites. I'll show you when we code, then you will enjoy this section. You will learn so many things like how we can call in the native app, how we can design a hybrid application within 2 hours. So many things I'll tell you how you will learn or how you can design the code for it. Okay, so if I have a website, I'll just directly bind that website with the web view and that will be work as an Android app. Then we will learn about the life cycle that I have told you. Many in this Android Studio, we have the files, Manifest file and Gradle file. These files are important. Like in Manifest file, when we open a studio, then we have a file that is Manifest file and Gradle file. If we will call a Manifest file, it means in that file, suppose you are designing an Android app, and inside that Android app, you are using such type of things, or you are using like you want to call the gallery session of the user. So many times you have seen when you open any Android app, then the application needs the permission from you. Like, are you sure? Like, are you allowed to access the gallery for this application? If you will allow, then application can get your gallery part. If you don't allow, then the application cannot access your gallery. So it's a private content that we have in our mobile, like gallery, contacts, like that. So you cannot get these type of information from the mobile in your application. If you are designing such type of application where you get these all things, then you need to take the permission from the user. Okay, you need to take the permission. That permission you need to enter inside the manifest file. You want to check the internet is connected properly or not in your mobile, then you can, like, you are designing the Android app, and that user will install that Android app in their mobile. Now how you will test in that mobile user have the internet connection or not? Then we need to set up permissions for it in the manifest file. So all the permissions we need to set in the manifest file. Gradle file is work for the creating a .apk file. .apk file, like the complete application you want to run on the Play Store. You design the Android app, you want to host Play Store, then you need to create .apk file for the application. That APK file will be run on the mobile. Like, you will install this APK file on Play Store, then everyone can download that APK file from that Play Store. So to create a APK file, Gradle file will work on that. Okay, so it's about the Android activity lifecycle. Then next we will go with the UI component. UI in the sense user interface. Whatever you will design, that will be displayed on the screen. The UI, user interface. So whenever you will design, like you are designing a button, text box, anything that you are designing, that user can see that thing. That is called the user interface. Got it? So, like, here we will learn how we can design the UI designing, how we can use the layouts, like whatever, like I'm designing an Android app, whatever design, like edit text, text view, buttons you will use, that will covered with the layout. In the root node, first I need to create a layout. Inside that layout, whatever you want to create, you can create. Okay. So here we will simple learn about the UI layout, how you can scroll your page, how you can insert an image in your Android application. Like you want to insert an image, here you want to call a rounded image, how you can scroll this page. These all things we will learn in the unit 1. It's all about unit 1 that we will learn. In the unit 2, we will learn the GUI concept, like same thing. We will continue. That is how you can use the what is XML GUI object, how you can create a button, text box, edit text, toggle button, padding. Toggle button, it means a button like that. There's a button. We have an option for switch on or off. If you will switch here, it's off. Switch here, it's on. It's a toggle button. That work with 0 or 1 compact. So how you can use that button, how you can set the padding in the sense space from the all corners, like that. Then we'll work with the Android event-driven programming. Event-driven programming, it means the actual programming. Here we will learn the exception handling. It means if is there any exception is created, how you can handle that exception. Because if I have any error in my website or in my Android app anywhere, then we never show that error to the user. User will confuse which type of page is opening, what is this, because he or she cannot able to understand that error. So what we'll do, when any problem will be occurred, then we will display a page like website is under maintenance for 2 hours. This Android app is under maintenance, hours of maintenance, like that notification or message you will pass. So user will be understand the website will be in a maintenance mode. Then you will execute that error, run that error. Then you will comfortable with it. User cannot understand which type of error they are facing. They will go to the exception part. Then the message will be printed on. then you can execute it. So like test, you will use test. And here it will come as next, event-driven programming. Event-driven programming, it means how you can make all the UI component as a clickable. Clickable, like how you can click on the button, like if user will click on the button, then function will be executed. How you can make the drop down, how you can make the button, these all things, how you can make a clickable, that's depend on the event-driven programming. Like user will click on that button, then he will check username and password, like that. Then activity lifecycle that we have already done. Next, dialog menu and toast, also important topic. Like how you can print a dialog box. Dialog box, you know, there are so many times you have seen, like if you are delete something, then the dialog box you delete. If you press no, then never delete. Dialog box that you want to appear for user for confirmation. Menus, it means here you will learn about the working of menus, that is custom menu, basic, custom, and system menus. Like menus, like how you, suppose you are designing an Android app, how you can create the menus in the, if you will scroll from left, then there are some menus here, like here image, and that all menus here. And by default 3 buttons at the bottom, you can see back button, home button, and this one. Okay, these are the menus that we use. So you learn how you can create such type of menus, how you can bind your hardware menus in that application. These all things, like it will create and use handset menu button hardware. That buttons you have in your mobile, how you can bind that buttons if you want to work on that. How you can use alert dialog windows. And next is how you can print a notification. Toast is a notification that will be print only for few seconds. Like you have sent, like you are submitting your registration form. You have click on the submit button. Now a notification will be generated. Your data has been submitted successfully, and it will disappear after 2 or 3 seconds. Automatically it will disappear. Okay. So for that purpose, I'll show you each and everything how you create all in your Android Studio. We'll go with the live programming. Whatever problem you will face, I'll give you the solution of all problems in the live session. So here we will learn about these all things, like how you can use this dialogs, menu, toast, how you can run in the application, like that. Next part will be the database operation. Like till now we know each and everything. You can find the data. Sorry, no concept of database till now. Like you can create a log page. How you can run these all pages. How you can use it. How you can use intent, web view, content, menu, dialog menu. Each and everything we have learned. Now we will learn about the concept of database connectivity. How you can connect your Android app with the database. Here we will learn the basic concept of Firebase database and SQLite database. Actually, Android Studio by default support the SQLite database. Okay, by default Android Studio support the SQLite database. It means this SQLite database is already installed in the Android Studio. So if you will work with Android Studio, there is no need to install any database, because default database is connected, that is Android Studio. Sorry, that is SQLite. Okay. So if someone will ask you which one is the default database for Android Studio, you can say it's a SQLite database. So here we will learn the basic operation of SQLite database, like how you can create a table, how you can insert a table, how you can get the data, how you can fetch the data from the tables. Each and everything we will learn, and we'll work with the CRUD operation. CRUD. Update and delete. These all things we will learn with this Android application. How you can start an Android app, how you can, when you design a registration form, how you can save the data in the database, how you can get the data from the database, how you can update any detail, and how you can delete any records. These all we will done with the help of database connectivity. So at the last, we will connect your Android app with the database, both Firebase database as well as SQLite database. So it's all about the syllabus that we will cover, and the topics was very interesting. Everything will be covered with the help of images, texts, everything is like that. We will learn with these images, these it's an interesting subject is Android application development. And after completing this course, when the course will be completed, you all are able to design your own Android application. Currently, you all are comfortable to design your own Android application. You are able to work with the company, with the freelancer, anything that you want, you can choose. You all will be the experts in that field after completing carefully this course. Now, is there anything that you want to ask? You are free to ask anything. You can directly message me. I'll give the answer of your questions. I'm waiting for your questions.